What's going on, y'all? Jason over here at Cog Hill Farm. I hope you're having one of the best mornings ever this morning. Y'all, I do want to apologize for missing video and Brooke missing the video. We had a little semi off the cuff quick trip over to Dauphin Island. They were doing a bird banding event down there, and me and Carl wanted to go, so we actually rented a camper because the campsite was right next to the Audubon Wildlife Refuge over there at Dauphin Island where they were doing the bird banding. And we went down there, stayed one night, came on back. But I do want to apologize for missing a couple of videos there. We appreciate y'all, appreciate your patience and understanding. And we did have a good time, had a great time. If you want to hear about the absolute comical story that happened to me while we were down there, y'all go check out the previous live stream. Y'all go check it out. I'll put a link to it in the description or somewhere to make it easier for you to find. But needless to say, it was an adventurous trip, let me tell you. Well, hello, Mr. B. But I got to show y'all something while I'm over here. Y'all look at this Zephyrin Druin rose right here. It has found some new life here lately. I don't know if it's the cooler temps or what, but this one right here is just absolutely looking stunning. Love this rose. Just a beautiful rose smell. It is a repeat bloomer. It's what they call a thornless rose, but it does have some very small thorns on it, but nothing like this big daddy right here. Nothing like the American pillar rose at all. So they do call it a thornless rose. But look at this rose, it is a climber. I'm training it to grow down this fence right here. But Zephyrin Druin has decided that she wanted to come out to the party, and I absolutely appreciate that because it looks amazing right now. Here it is, middle October. I've been watching it and seeing it just starting to get, you know, bigger and bigger and bigger and more beautiful. And yesterday I noticed that it had really put on some blooms. Speaking of blooms, y'all look at the Ryan pink mums and this area over here. This area, I think it's the cooler temps. I really do. I think it's the cooler temps. It is going to be 90 today, so I do have my shorty shorts on, but I think it's the cooler mornings, and it's just the plants have really said, hey, we need that relief because this area right here in the Alabama Parterre Garden is looking quite beautiful over here. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. But we are glad to be back. We do have a day full today. I hope I can get it all done because it is a 90% chance of rain coming in starting tonight, and I cannot be more happy about that. I can't. We need the rain so bad. I watered the front yard area right before we left, and look at it. It's just everything's crunchy, everything's brown. We need the rain bad. So one thing that I want to try to do today, I got big plans today, so hopefully we can pull it off. I'm gonna need Brooke's help today, and we'll talk about behind me in a minute at the fruit orchard, but y'all look what I got in the mail. I got some live plants from Hall's Tools, and look at here. Y'all look at the strawberries. We got strawberry plugs right here. Oh my gracious. Haven't grown strawberries in forever. I mean forever. So I think I'm going to try to grow these in our green stalk planters. That is my plan and goal, and hopefully we can pull this off and it works. I think it will. Now the thing about strawberries, now again, we're in Alabama, we're in zone 8. And 8's the broad term from Alabama. You could be 8A or 8B. Some folks are closer to 9 as you get down south. But for the most part, we're just gonna say zone 8. Now, here in zone 8, we grow strawberries as perennials, number one, which means they're gonna die back and come back, okay? Number two, a lot of people plant strawberries at the wrong time. You wanna plant strawberries in the fall and harvest in the spring. A lot of people grow them in the spring, and the strawberries are not good at handling the big heat, and you're not gonna get a big successful crop. Typically what happens, these big box stores put them out at the wrong time because they don't care about your success as a gardener. All they care about is making that dime. And so they put them out because nobody's really buying plants in the fall and winter. But strawberries, zone 8. So that typically should mean zone 9 or zone 8 and higher. We want to start growing our strawberries in the fall. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to get these strawberries in some green stalk planters today. And I'm hoping that's going to work. The only thing that I do worry about this little experiment, but I think it's going to work, I feel pretty good, is that they're not in the ground, so they'll be more susceptible to the cold temperatures versus they would be in the ground. But we're going to hold our breath, keep our fingers crossed. I do have a plan. I do have some frost covers for my strawberries. So if we do get those really super cold temperatures, which we could be prone to get every now and then, I'll put those frost covers on the strawberries. We're gonna try to get those planted, but that's not all. We got a lot to do today. I need your help over there cheering me on. Some of y'all may want to put your old cheerleading outfits on, okay? If you still got them in your closet, we might need those. All right, might need some toe touches, some pom-poms waving, you know, what it may be. I might need you because day full. I want to go show Brooke these strawberries, and that's not the only thing I want to show Brooke. She hasn't seen this little surprise either. Holly, let's go. Load up, girl. All right, let's put these back here so we all can ride, girl. You ready? Me too. Hey, good looking. I got something to show you.
What?
You ready for this?
I don't know. Holly?
Nope, not Holly.
Popped up.
Not Holly. All right, check this out. You ready? Now, I told you Hoss was sending some strawberries.
Yeah.
So they came in.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Look how beautiful they look.
They are gorgeous.
You see that?
Wowzers. We might have some strawberries.
Isn't that gorgeous?
That's amazing.
So that's one thing I want to show you.
Okay.
I got a little something in the fruit orchard I want to show you. You don't mind sharing with Holly, do you?
Holly don't mind sharing with me. I'm just kidding, girl. We all know it's yours. I just ride.
Looks like lemons, don't it?
I thought it was oranges. Okay, now, Jason. I will tell you the truth.
You gonna tell me the truth?
The whole time, I've been thinking this was apples.
You thought it was apples. And not apples. These are persimmons.
Oh, they're persimmons.
Yeah.
Well, goodness gracious.
These are the persimmons, and they're getting really close. Now, I've been growing these. This is year 3.5-ish.
Oh my goodness.
And they've always dropped. This one's really close right there. They're gonna get a little, they're gonna get oranger.
Yeah.
That's how we know they're ready.
Well, I've bought them in specialty grocery stores before because I used it to make a special recipe.
Right.
And I believe that recipe's on our website.
I cannot remember.
Persimmon pudding.
I cannot remember if it is or not. I don't know why this one held on to the fruit more so, because it's loaded. I don't know how many's on it, but it's a lot. Than this tree. This tree dropped a lot of its fruit. But I still have a good... Now, this one's really getting close right here. So I'm really tempted to pick that one. Now, what's great about these persimmons, this is a plus. These Asian persimmons, this is a Japanese persimmon, it's called fuyu, is that it has a long life on the tree. So it doesn't, you don't have to worry about it getting overripe real quick or real fast on the tree. So it can stay on your tree for a long time.
A lot longer than an apple or a pear.
Way longer than an apple or pear. So that's one beautiful thing about these Asian persimmons is that you don't have to be in a hurry to go out there and pick them all.
And have to have something to do with all of them at one time.
Yes.
Because they're ripe.
Exactly.
So my thoughts of these being apples was entirely wrong.
Yep.
And that's not a bad thing because persimmons are something we enjoy.
Pretty much everything's, we still got some figs we got to harvest, but here we are at the end of October and we got a fruit.
That's right. And this is not the same fruit that Peaches consumed at the old farm.
No.
What were those?
That's just your wild native persimmons here in Alabama or in the southeast.
They were about the size of a quarter, maybe a little bigger, but those things would turn your mouth inside out.
If you do not pick it when it's ripe, it'll make your lips do like this right here.
And that's the one that has a seed inside that people use to predict the winter.
Yep, that's right. You cut the seed open, and if it's a spoon, it means you got to shovel your way out.
But these seeds are different.
This is totally different. This is a totally different variety of persimmon, and this one's non-stringent, so you can eat it at any point you want to, and you're not gonna look like you had a lip job.
Well, you know, I never saw Peaches pucker up.
No, because she only ate the ones on the ground. So that was the thing about those wild persimmons. That's one sure tell you can tell that they're ready, is most of the time, people wouldn't harvest them until they fell and they pick them up off the ground.
Okay.
So once they fall, they're pretty much ready to roll. It's a beautiful fruit too. It does look like an orange tree.
I'm telling you, I thought it was apples, and now I see that they're getting more and more orange as the time goes by.
Definitely not apples. One other thing I want to say about this persimmon, it's almost the perfect fruit here because no pest, hardly any diseases. It's just
easy to grow.
Only thing was fruit drop, and I think the lack of water was causing my fruit drop. But I've also been told that it may take up to 3 years for your fruit to hang on, which would make sense too.
I know you're super proud of this fruit orchard.
Yeah, this is one of my most favorite things here. Good morning, girls. Y'all talked to Peaches this morning? Y'all know what side of the bed she woke up on? All right, I'm about to find out. Hey, Peaches, big day today. Got some rain coming in. Is what they're anticipating. Hope these weathermen are right. You know what I mean? So, plans are plant the garden, get the calendula planted. Got about 500 of them. Got some cauliflower and kale I want to try to get out. Get the ryegrass planted in the food plot out there, so you know our deer and wildlife have something to eat over there in that corner. Fill up the deer feeders. And I got some strawberry plants. So we're gonna try to get them planted too. All right, going back to bed. I'll catch you when we get done and let you know how it went, okay? All right. So one big thing that we're going to do today before this rain comes, we're gonna plant our 500 calendulas in the ground. Now these are a beautiful, beautiful fall flower and winter flower, depending on how mild your winters are. These typically last me to February. It'll give you lots of color. The pollinators will have something because nothing else going on during this time. And calendulas have such great healing benefits that people use them for all kind of things, but mainly salves and lotions because they really do well on your skin. And what we do is we grow these, we freeze dry them, we take them to our dear friend Laura, and Laura makes a calendula salve for us. And as soon as it gets on our website, it sells out. So this year I decided, look, we're gonna make sure we have enough. And if we don't have any crazy weather or nothing crazy happens to them, we will have about 500 calendula plants to harvest from this year. It's gonna be gorgeous. I've never planted this many before, so I cannot wait to see how beautiful this is going to be with that many planted in one area. So let's see if we can get 500. Well, it's not 500, it's close to 500. It's like 496 or 7. And I had about 100% germination rate, so it's a lot. And y'all, these are easy to grow, easy to start from seed, easy, easy, easy. But it will go faster if I get help. And I'm gonna do something a little bit different with these that I typically have not been doing here on the farm out there in the big garden. So come along with me and Hope you got your pom-poms ready. Because we certainly could use the cheering section, if you know what I mean. Also, since I'm redoing or rearranging the back garden back here where I plan on growing all my vegetables, and I got the issue with the peacocks that I gotta figure out, and I've put on the back burner growing any fall plantings back here until I get all that done. So I'm gonna take my broccoli and my kale that I have started from seed and plant it out front in the big garden like I have been since we've been here, and work on this, and then next year, this area should be ready for the spring, and from that point forward, forever. Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for right there. This right here. Now y'all, I don't use this tool like I used to. Now at the old farm, I used this a lot, but since we moved here, I've really been using the cultivator tool on the back of the tractor. And I really want to use it because I love driving Big Joe. But since we've had this big drought, I know we got some rain coming in, but they're not showing any rain after today. And the weather gurus are predicting a drier winter than normal. I'm going to use this, and let me tell you why. Oh, I forgot to tell you what this is. This is a row maker. That's what they call it. And well, let me show you how it works, and I'll tell you why we're going this route instead of using the cultivator, which builds my mounds up over there in the garden. I was just looking at the cover crop across the way. It's doing better than I thought. I need to go look it over there at the sun hemp section. Still should be way thicker than that. If we had any type of rain, it would be solid green. But I'll take that with the lack of rain we have. Now let me show y'all about the row maker. Now some of y'all probably have seen me use this tool. I think I may have used it once since we've been here. But I like it because it is going to call, well, let me put it this way. It's called a row maker. It's really not gonna make like mounds like you see me make with the tractor with the cultivating tool. It's gonna make me a semi-straight row. And let me show you how it works and why I'm deciding to use that. So I don't like Budweiser rows, and that's them crooked rows you get from time to time. Now I got me a fairly straight line with the tire made right here. I'm going to use that to my advantage. Now this is tool here. It is from Hoss, and it's a cool design tool. You can see we got a point here and a point here. I got it set at 3 foot wide, but you can see you got different widths that you can set this. And that's the width of your row that you'll walk down and, you know, harvest or whatever. But 3 foot is generally what I like to use for everything. And I'm going to use this tire track for my first row, and you're going to see what it's going to do is it's going to make 2 marks. It's going to make my first row mark, and it's going to make my second row mark. And if I can semi-walk straight, it should make a straight row, semi-straight row. We're not going to have super Budweiser lines, and I may get a little crooked, you know, and that's okay. But it sure beats coming out here with a measuring tape and putting stakes out and pulling a string and all that. This takes all that away, which I do not like. And Cheese agrees with me, but watch this. That is just such a cool little tool right there. Now, is it as cool as driving Big Joe in here? No, it's not. But still pretty awesome. And then what I'll do is I'll overlap and I'll come back and do the same thing, which is right in line with this tire track we have. Which you can see we have perfectly spaced 3 foot rows and about as straight as you can get right there. So now why am I using this and not using Big Joe to make my furrows, as I like to call them? Well, Again, since we're having dry weather and they're predicting a dry winter, when you plant anything on a mound like that, it dries out at least twice as fast, if not faster, versus planting it flat in the ground. I actually prefer planting straight in the ground versus the furrows or building that mound up because of that reason alone. But most of y'all know that our ground, when we first got here, was extremely compact, extremely rocky, which meant using this tool right here was almost impossible. But we've been working this soil, adding lots of compost and cover crops and doing a lot of deep plowing to break up that subsoil. And you can see now our soil is not compact anymore. So I can use this tool now. Plus I'm gonna get them steps in today. That's pretty straight. That's not too bad, is it?
That's very straight.
All right, so I got the help of my lovely wife.
Your lovely dog too.
My lovely dog.
She's
hanging out in the shade. Let's see here. I'll make sure I get this right.
Are you good?
I'm good on these. I'm gonna plant our broccoli and our kale.
And that's to take place of not Scott's damage.
Yeah, I'm gonna put these out here because we're not gonna plant anything back there until we get that garden redone, and that's coming up.
How far apart will the calendulas
About
be?
6 inches. So we got purple magic and green magic broccoli, and then we got kale. Well, y'all, we got a little setback, and that is this. The 2 trays that we planted later, they got Caden to do for me. Well, I think they're about a week behind these, and you can just see, I could plant these, but I'm not feeling comfortable with it. I think they need to stay in there a little bit longer. You can see no soil is attached to them. The root system is really small, and some would survive, but I think my survival rate as a whole would not be very good. So I'm just going to wait another week on these, and hopefully we'll get some rain, or we'll figure it out at that point. And planting them like this, I just don't feel good about it at all. So we're gonna plant the ones we got. I think that's 164, 165 in that tray, and go with that. And our broccoli and kale, which I'm gonna space these out about a good foot or so apart. They're gonna need more room than the calendula. Still think we're gonna go to the feed store and get us some collard greens too. Plant out here. Take our organic fertilizer, put us a handful down in there. Remember, this organic fertilizer is a slow release, and it does build your soil up, but it's not going to give you that, that big boost like a liquid or synthetic would. It's just going to be a slow release fertilizer versus one of those types. Another thing I like planting on flat ground like this, y'all, it's a lot easier to weed. When you're on that hill and you start weeding, you're gonna break away that hill. And so your plant's roots could be exposed, it could fall over. So a lot of times you find yourself not wanting to weed as aggressively because you don't want to mess up that mound or that hill that your plant's planted on. Broccoli and kale, done. We're gonna skip a row and see if we can get some calendulas in the ground.
Take your pick as to which box.
I'm gonna grab this one. I'm wishing now I'd have grabbed my sun hat.
Let me go get it?
No, I think we're okay. Unless I see this is gonna take several hours. I don't think it is though. I think 2 of us makes it a lot easier. And I appreciate you helping me because I know gardening isn't your thing.
That's all right.
Now, most of the time in the fall winter garden, I do not put my drip irrigation in because typically I do not need it. And I have not been bit about that yet. This year might be the exception, but I'm not going to put a drip irrigation in because I just don't think I need to use it. If I see I need something, I'll put an overhead sprinkler out here. But I think we're going to be okay. Got me a big cheering section now. So one thing I noticed is that one flat got me did 2 rows and not quite a half. So that's 2 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows. I should be right on the money. So this whole from here all the way over should all be calendulas, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 rows for sure, and possibly 9. And this is a 40 by 40 garden, so that's 360 foot of calendulas. I went and got my sun hat. So I'm pretty sure most of y'all know about these green stalk planters. They have been a supporter of our channel for a very, very, very long time. They are the Hoss was number 1, and then Greenstalk was 2 when it came to supporting our channel. They were just a new company up and coming, and we were one of their first creators that they reached out to. And we just love them. They are a family-owned business. They've grown tremendously, which we absolutely love. As a matter of fact, this black greenstalk planter originally was the Cog Hill Farm edition, which is pretty cool, which was limited. But they have brought it back a couple of times. I don't know if it's back on their site or not, but they got all kinds now. Basket weave, all different colors. Y'all pretty much know, but if you don't, it's kind of a self-watering system. You fill it up at the top and it distributes the water equally all throughout the planter. But typically since we've been here, we've only grown flowers in it. In the spring, summer, I've grown petunias. I mean, it just trails over. One of my favorite things to grow in it are the petunias, the wave style that just engulf the whole thing. But I'm thinking strawberries, since strawberries are a trailing type plant, they're gonna do well in this as well. Much like, you know, the little strawberry planters that used to be really, really popular at one time, the terracotta style. As a matter of fact, I got one. This style of planter here, which one time was extremely popular. I don't know if they're as popular as they used to be. So this is the variety that we're planting, called Ruby June Strawberry, which is supposed to be a super delicious strawberry that I don't know of anybody that don't like strawberries. I really don't. I'm sure there's some folks out there, but goodness gracious, they're delicious. All right, we got the green stalk planter done. And I know some of y'all may have noticed when I was planting these that I was pulling at the roots, or it looks like I was tearing the roots apart. And there's a reason why I do this. And if you don't know this, let me explain it to you. So when you get some of these plants, a lot of times, and it can be in a 1 gallon, it can be in a little seed tray like this, it could be in a 5 or 10 gallon pot. But you can see a lot of times, you can see the root system is just starting to go round and round and round and round and round and round. Now, I've always been taught that those roots will continue to go around in that circle, that kind of root bound. So to break that up, you just want to loosen them up a little bit And that way they can spread those toes out, spread those feet out. And then when you plant it, the roots tend to start growing out instead of in that circle. Now, there are some folks out there that say that that's not the case, but that's just the way I've always been taught to do it. And, you know, it kind of makes sense to me. You know, if you just gently just pull these roots apart just a little bit, and now, to me, that right there just makes sense that it can start growing out instead of in that circle. So that's why you'll see me do that most of the time, is kind of loosen those roots up or break them up. Sometimes they're really, really, really root bound and it's just a hard mass, and you got to get a knife and kind of cut some loose to kind of break all that up. But that's why you'll see people break up their root systems and get those roots loose. But you don't have to be rough with it, though. I've seen some people just... These are tender, you know, just gently, ever so gently. One more thing that I want to get done is I want to get some ryegrass put out over there in the food plot, as we like to call it. Now, we're not hunters. If y'all missed that episode, we building this food plot for the wildlife, for deer and turkey, and a chance or opportunity for Mary Carl to take some really, really nice photos of the wildlife there. So we planted a cover crop there. Of course, the drought's been pretty rough. We decided to come back and put some ryegrass out there and see if we can get it in there before that rain hits. And we gotta fill up the feeder too. You ready, babe? All right, let's go sling some seeds. That wind's picking up, isn't it?
It is. That rain's coming.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
It shows 100% tonight.
Oh, it was 90 when I woke up this morning.
It's 100% now.
That's perfect.
That's perfect.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna sling some seed. You think do it by hand, or you think use that little?
Oh, I brought the roller. I just didn't know what would be best. I figured since the wind was going, so it might just disperse it everywhere if we didn't use that.
Okay. Let's see how well it rolls out of here. That's the main thing. It ain't made for rough terrain.
It's not four-wheel drive.
Don't have mud tires in that four-wheel drive. Holly, you want to pull it? You can push that, can't you?
Holly?
Yeah, Holly can push it.
She went to go get it off.
You think put the seed out or do the corn?
I want to fill the feeder up first.
Okay, we'll fill the feeder up first then. Reckon there any wasp in it?
Am I too close?
Oh, that's good.
You don't fall, are you?
I hope not. Don't try this at home. We are professionals.
Yeah, I got in that bucket like magic last time. You weren't with me.
How'd you climb up here?
Well, you didn't want to know about that.
Buck to ya.
Clever name, huh?
That's gonna bring the big boys.
Open up my door and check my battery. You can put it on test. Oh, goodness. Oh, it hit me. It works. It hit me right here in the temple.
Oh, gosh. It works. We're good.
We got some Marshall ryegrass, so that way when they eat it down, it'll come back.
Oh, okay, good. All right, you ready?
Uh-huh.
Last time I used the tractor, but it was 100 pounds and not 50.
Yeah, I see no point in taking the tiller off for that.
I'm definitely gonna get them steps in today. Is it empty?
Empty.
Good. I took about a quarter of the bag.
Huh?
I took about a quarter of the bag. Oh, we just hope for some good rain, Brooke. Hope we don't get a gully washer.
If we do, we'll have a green ditch.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
We will have a green ditch. All right, meet you at the garden. All right, Holly, let's roll. Come on, girl. Come on, get on your side, girl. Come on, let's go. Come on. We got to sling some more seeds, you know what I mean? All right, let's get the next plot. Man, that basil smells good. I can't help to come over here and show y'all the African blue basil. Y'all can see how tall it is. It's really, really tall. Smells absolutely amazing. And is it still covered with bees? Yeah, there's thousands upon thousands of bees out here today. And I'm still gonna leave that there until the frost hits it. And I'll come get me some cuttings for all that happens, but I'm not doing away with it at all. It's just way too many bees just enjoying it and depending on it. Really, there's really nothing out right now, and this is really, really fitting the bill for what they need. Unreal. Well, listen, I told you, we had 3 big things we needed to do today, and that was plant the calendula, that was plant some cauliflower and some kale, right? Plant the garden, get the strawberries planted, because I know you're going to love some strawberries, and get the ryegrass put out over there in the green plot, which we did, but I got a bonus, big bonus. I was able to, well, we had enough seed left over I put over there in the garden, you know, where we had our cover crop planted. So it's a big day today. Big day today, okay? And you enjoy the rest of your evening. Come on back to sleep, girl. Ain't no sense of getting up. Yeah, let me rub that belly. Yeah, let me rub that belly 25 times. Yeah, I'll do that for you. Yeah, I can rub that belly 25 times. Yeah. Well, y'all, I certainly appreciate you hanging out with us today, helping Brooke and myself get some things that needed to be done around here before this rain hits. If you need rain, I am hoping, I got my fingers crossed, I'm praying that you get some rain, and I hope we get some too. We appreciate y'all so much. Catch you guys on the next one. Hope you had the best day ever, and y'all be good.